We are now beginning the broadcast with some breaking news where we are learning that the National Investigation Agency is making a big breakthrough in the Red Fort area bombing case with arrest of suicide bomber Dr. Umar Nabi's aide. In a major breakthrough in that car bomb blast case, the National Investigation Agency has now arrested a Kashmiri resident who had conspired with the suicide bomber Umar Nabi to carry out the terror attack, which claimed 10 innocent lives and left around 25 others injured. This is Amir Rashid Ali, in whose name the car that has been involved in this attack was registered, and he now has been arrested from Delhi by the NIA, which had launched a massive search operation after taking over the case from the Delhi police. My colleague Ishan Vani on the broadcast now. Ishan, more details on this latest arrest that has been made by the NIA.
Yes, to give perspective to our viewers, we would like to tell that this is the same guy whose picture, if you recall, holding a key from the car dealer in Haryana had gone viral. And then he was called initially Tariq, but then later on he was identified as Arif Amir Rashid. He was arrested along with his brother from his home for the investigation, but he has been formally taken into custody by the NIA. Initially, he was, arrested detained by the J&K police, and then now handed over to the NIA. NIA is saying that he is the main close aide of the bomber, and he had traveled to Delhi, purchased that I-20 vehicle, and NIA investigation has pointed out towards it. And what we also have been given to understand is that that he had been in touch with Umar, and eventually the vehicle which was used was purchased by him, and NIA forensically established the identity of the deceased driver as Umar from Pulwama. And the anti-terror agency has also seized another vehicle belonging to him, and the examination is being done. And so far, 73 witnesses, including those injured in the blast that rocked the national capital, have also been questioned and examined. There's a work going on in close coordination between the Delhi police, J&K police, Haryana police, UP police, and various agencies, and the NIA is conducting raids at multiple locations. But there's a major breakthrough in which Amir Rashid Ali has come out as a close aide who traveled to Delhi, bought that car, handed it over to Umar, and that's what the NIA is right now telling us, that this is the sequence of events that had happened while that car was purchased. Remember, on the very first day after the blast, there's a picture of a man holding a key wearing a spectacle, which had gone down viral. And initially, because the number that was given by Amir was of Tariq, his friend, and that's why they had gotten confused as Tariq. We visited his house to report from there, and they said he is Amir, but they have no clue about if he had ever traveled to Delhi. But he has been now formally arrested, and in the coming days, we might have further arrests taking place by the NIA, because initially they have been done by the J&K police, and now the NIA has taken the charge.
Also, Ishan, do we have the details on when was this car purchased, and what is the latest sequence of events that the NIA has managed to unearth now that this fresh arrest of Amir Rashid Ali has been made?
Well, yes, what we have been given to understand is that he had traveled there a year back, and full family doesn't know exactly when he had gone there. But what we have been given to understand is that he had purchased it because Umar had asked him to do so. That's what is being alleged at the moment. And then he went on to further, to hand it over to Umar so that he could carry out this kind of bombing. And there is one more angle to this story, that the family says that he never went there, but the picture has been clicked, which proves that he was well there, and he had gone there, and he had actually made that purchase. And this is now critical to the case, his statements, the sort of evidence that he is able to provide. That will be key to the entire story. And that's what we have to wait and see, what kind of statements does he make to the NIA.
And we are putting out that image of Amir Rashid Ali for our viewers on the screen. This is the latest image that we've managed to access as the NIA has taken him in custody. Crucial piece of information is going to now flow as he is under arrest. And right now, he is being interrogated over his role in this entire blast. More and more details and more conjectures that were doing the rounds, Ishan, are now going to be put to rest. Now, with this crucial arrest that has been made of Amir Rashid Ali, you were earlier telling us about how he was misidentified, and now the identity is almost certain, and that's why the arrest by the NIA has happened. As far as the family members' questioning is concerned, other than the fact that they'd mentioned that he had traveled to Delhi a year back. What else has emerged?
Well, what has emerged is that he had traveled to Delhi and he was there and he had purchased that vehicle, and Umar had given instructions possibly to him to make that purchase, because he was the guy in whose vehicle, even if you see it from the purchase perspective, it was him who had purchased it last. It did not exchange any hands. So how did it reach Umar? That is what will be crucial to the case, that he did sell it to him, because as we reported earlier, the entire area where this incident has taken, between Amir and his house, it's a matter of 6 kilometers. They live from each other. How do they know each other? That will be interesting in the case. And how do they get in touch? Was there any handler that was involved in all of this? We'll have to wait and see. But for now, the details have been given by the NIA. It's clear that the first arrest has been made and he has been called as a close aide of Umar. Though there's a need to prove that link, the link between Umar and this guy, Amir Rashid, that how do they get in touch with their friends? Where did they get in touch with some other third person? Did they get in touch with a handler who was sitting across and trying to pitch this all thing together? But this will be crucial. In coming days, you might hear further investigation, because now the former arrest has been made by the NIA and they'll be interrogating him and possibly taking him to Delhi to recreate everything and to understand what he really.
Right. Do stay on with us, Ishan. We also have our colleague Arunima now joining us. Arunima, an arrest made from Delhi itself of one of the key conspirators as far as this entire Red Fort blast is concerned. Amir Rashid Ali has been nabbed by the NIA, and slowly these details have emerged that he was already stationed in Delhi a year back when this incident really was reported, and it was in his name that the car was bought, and he'd recently purchased that I-20, the crucial car that was used in this entire bombing. More on that.
So the planning, it seems, for this entire operation began well in advance. There was a proper instruction given by the handler that this module of doctors must spread out. They should not be limited to Kashmir, or they should not be limited to Al-Falah and Faridabad alone. So the first step was to spread out. Therefore, one doctor went to Uttar Pradesh, another smaller module stayed back in Faridabad. There were other, supporters coming in from other parts of the country, which the NIA is still investigating. So this car was also procured, and not one car. There are more. At least 3, models and makes have now come up. NIA has also confirmed that they have found one more car belonging to Umar Nabi, which is under investigation. And the role of Amir in all of this, as NIA tells us at this moment, is that Amir knows very well what the design was, why these cars were being procured. He traveled all the way from Jammu and Kashmir to Delhi and then onwards to Faridabad, where he met up with this second-hand car dealer, bought the car. And there's also a photograph which has now emerged where you see him holding the car keys. So it was very clear why this car was being procured. He was aware. During his questioning, he has given details to NIA about how this module was really working. Like I said, this is investigation in progress. There are more people who are currently under detention, being questioned, not just by NIA but by JKP as well. So you could see more arrests happening.
Any details that have come to light on how this arrest was made? How did the NIA get this breakthrough when it is, apprehending Amir Rashid Ali?
See, you have to work backwards. So Jammu and Kashmir police, immediately after the Red Fort attack happened, Jammu and Kashmir police was already looking at this case. They had made crucial breakthroughs. And Amir Rashid Ali's name, along with his brother Omar's name, came up during the scrutiny of the paper, because the first person who was picked up after the Red Fort blast happened was from Gurgaon. He said he had sold it to a second person, and subsequently the trail led them to the Faridabad second-hand car dealer. From there, when it was further questioned as to where the car went, that is when Amir and Umar's, the brothers, their name came up. And this picture was also, usually, when anyone gets a new car, the car dealer also clicks a picture just to congratulate them. Sometimes they even frame it and give it to them. So I think for that purpose, this picture was clicked. But this picture then came in handy for the investigators. When NIA took over the case, they went on to question Amir Ali. And their press release has made very clear that during the questioning, it was clear that he was aware why this car was being bought, but he was still part of the conspiracy, and therefore he bought that car, took it back to the module and handed it over, knowing very well that it will be used as an IED carrier.